Hey there, welcome to DevOps Interview Preparation, Part 11. If you are watching this video for the first time, then I would like to say that go to my channel. You are going to find 10 more videos that are covering different topics of DevOps interview questions and how to answer them. Let us see what kind of questions will appear in this video and how to answer them. The first question is, a Docker image is unable to be downloaded on a server. How would you start debugging? It's a pretty simple question. Whenever we do Docker pull, we will download an image from somewhere. This can be Docker Hub, this can be ECR, doesn't matter. And in this particular question, what they are trying to ask is, you're trying to pull a Docker image, but it is not able to download. It is giving some errors. Unfortunately, they have not given you the exact error message, but they're asking you, how will you start debugging this? Well, you can pause this video here to see how you would answer it, but let me go ahead and answer this for you. We know that there is something called as Docker repository, right? So what is a Docker repository? Let's try to understand this. I will draw it here. So if we have a server, this can be a virtual machine. If we want to pull a Docker image, we have to pull it from a repository, right? And the command to do that is called as Docker pull. Now, if this command is having an issue, it can be two reasons. One, it can be an issue with the repository, and two, it can be an issue with the VM. So let us take the first example. If it is an issue with the repository, then it could be possible that you are hitting a rate limit. I have explained what is this in other interview question discussion, which you can find in my channel. A rate limit is nothing but the amount of hits that you do to the Docker Hub to pull the image. If you're doing it constantly, then you might hit a rate limit. Let us assume this is not the issue, and let us take the example of second issue, that is an issue with the VM. What exactly could be issue with the VM? Let's deep dive a bit. When the Docker image is pulled onto our virtual machine, it is stored in /var/lib/docker. This is the location for all the Docker images. This is a file system, right? This file system might be having a 8 GB capacity or 20 GB of capacity. If it has run out of this particular capacity, then when it is trying to download this image, it cannot store on the virtual machine, hence it would be failing. I hope you understood the fundamentals behind all of this. So what is the answer for this? How will you answer this? This is how you can present your answer. Based on the information that you have provided, I would go by saying that the issue can be in two places. The first one is the repo itself, meaning we are hitting the rate limit when we are pulling the Docker image. The second one is basically on our VM, and the storage of the VM is not available, meaning we are reaching the threshold of our storage. As we know, all the Docker images are stored in /var/lib/docker location, and this space is full, because of which we are unable to download further images on this virtual machine. This is how you can answer this particular question in the interview. Let us see the next question. Before we see the next question, I would like to share that if you are interested in preparing more in-depth DevOps interview questions and answers, I have a Udemy course called as 50 DevOps Interview Questions and Answers 2022. You can go to the Udemy, type this, and there is a coupon code in the description using which you can get a discount. But usually Udemy course already has a lot of discount, which you can use. Also, if you're interested in free 30 minutes DevOps discussion, career discussion, you can always email me, or there is a calendar link also in the description using which you can set up a meeting with me free of cost for 30 minutes regarding any DevOps related career discussion. Let us go to the next question. And the next question is coming from domain Azure. And the question is, why do we need a resource group in Azure? If you are not coming from Azure background, then you can ignore this question. But if you are someone who has practiced Azure as a part of your DevOps training, then this question should be very easy for you to answer. So what is the answer for this? Before I tell you the answer, let me first explain what is Azure Resource Group. In Azure, we will create multiple resources, right? If you want to create a virtual machine, with this virtual machine, we are going to create a network, we are going to create a storage, etc. A lot of other things also. If you want to delete this virtual machine, we should also delete this network and storage, which is what we call as a proper cleanup. How can we do so? To do this, what Azure has given us is called as resource group. Whenever you create a component, okay, let's say you create a component in Azure, everything is a part of a resource group. This is a resource group. I'm just going to write RG here, meaning resource group. So the VM, the networking component, the storage, all of it, the security group, everything is a part of this resource group. Now, if you want to delete this particular resource group, if you want to delete this particular component, instead of doing it individually, what you can do is just go ahead and delete this resource group, which will eventually delete all of these services. This is very helpful for us because imagine a very big organization that is using Azure will be spinning up so many components in Azure. Who is going to take care of cleaning all of them, right? It's going to become a nightmare. And to make this job easier for Azure developers, Azure DevOps engineers, and system administrators, we can use resource group. Now, if you don't create a resource group, then you will be having a problem in future with untagged resources, which you don't know who created, why it exists, but you're paying money for it. That is the idea behind resource group. Very well. Now that you know this information, how will you answer this particular question in the interview? This is how you can present this answer. In Azure, when we create any components, we can put them inside a resource group. Basically, it's a basket of all the resources that we have created as a part of a project or as a part of an application. When the time comes to delete this or clean this project or the application, instead of doing this manually, what we can do is delete the resource group itself, which is going to completely clean up all the related components which was created as part of this project or application. This is super helpful and a handy option that we should be aware of to get the best result in terms of the optimal utilization of Azure for us. This is how you can present the answer in the interview. That is it for this video, my friends. If you have liked this video, please do subscribe and comment if you have any questions that you want to discuss with me. If there are some interview questions that you have seen and you don't know how to answer it, then leave those information in the comment section. I will prepare videos even for them. Thanks a lot.